Hello on Sunday. Please excuse the state of me. I am still in my pyjamas and I haven't even been in the shower yet or washed my face or done my hair. Have brushed my teeth and had my breakfast and played with Jakey a little bit. I'm just coming into Elliot's room for a bit because Jake's on bed in our room watching In the Night Garden. Yeah, it's been a funny start to vlogging. Last week, I wanted the vlog to be all about how being organised and ready for kind of back to school and kind of that feeling of self-development for myself, because it's September, which, you know, when you're at school and when you're at college and university, it's kind of like a new start in the same way that the new year is for people as well. And certainly the plans I put in place for organisation did help. We started doing like a bit of a visual timetable for the boys in the morning so they know what order they need to do things in. We do it on the evening as well. I'm going to start doing it for Jake because he's going to more clubs and groups now. And that's one of my tasks this weekend, to kind of find a way to do that in a more organised way so we're not constantly switching out pieces of paper. And I've kind of got like spreadsheets, which sounds really boring, but it just keeps me on track with things like daily tasks, things that if I don't do every day, then they get out of hand and become something that I have to spend a long time correcting, which is things like updating my finance tracker, giving the bathroom a quick clean, making sure I do one load of washing every day. Just like the everyday stuff that sometimes slips your mind when you're busy. And if you let it kind of go out of control, then it takes a lot more effort to get it back under control. So I'm trying to do that, and that's working great. And I kind of thought, yes, last week's video would be me going, look, this is what I'm doing and it's working so well. And then the Queen died and everything just felt a little bit superficial. And I think it affected all of us a lot more than we expected. I wrote a blog post about it, which I'll link below. But yeah, it was quite sad, wasn't it? And I don't know about you guys, but not just the sadness of her passing and the essence of change, I just really feel for her family having to go about all the pomp and circumstance, which I love. It's one thing I love about being British, is that we have these completely bonkers traditions that probably make no sense in any other country, but we still do them because we're British. And I think that's one of the things that's fabulous about our country. But having to like go and meet all these people and shake all these hands when you've just lost a member of your family, I just can't imagine doing that. I feel so sorry for them. And I really hope King Charles, I should say, can kind of change the establishment or the firm, as Meghan called it, to try and introduce some kind of mental health care for the family. I mean, I see no reason why they couldn't have used Harry and Meghan separating from the family a little bit as an opportunity to say, you know, they clearly have, you know, mental health issues. Harry obviously lost his mom. Meghan obviously has a very strained relationship with her parents. I can relate. There's stuff there that the monarchy could have used it as a way to say, okay, you can't necessarily do your role or your job in the current capacity. We recognise you have these mental health issues, these issues that you're just not in a position to be able to do that thing. Let's change your role, as an employer could do for someone in a workplace potentially, to focus on what you can do. And okay, it will mean certain things change, but let's see how we can work together to make it work. And wouldn't have that been a massive, like, way of showing people that you can support people through mental health issues, you can support people through difficult times? Wouldn't it be a great way of destigmatising mental health issues rather than going, no, you can't do it, bugger off? It just seems weird. So I really hope Charles can kind of like do something about that. And I also hope he uses environmental know-how to get some green issues addressed as well. Hopefully he will. Yesterday was a total disaster. Well, maybe I'm being a bit over the top. We thought we'd take the boys to there's a museum in Birmingham at the university called the Lapworth Museum of Geology, I think it is. And they have fossils there and dinosaur skeletons, well, dinosaur fossil skeletons, and like gemstones and crystals and rocks. And it's got about volcanoes and earthquakes and different stuff. So we thought they'd really enjoy it. I don't know if it was the full moon yesterday, but they were both blinking bonkers. It started in the morning when they just didn't want to get ready. Maybe they were just tired. It had been quite a busy week for them. Elliot just kept talking non-stop in the car on the way there. And then when we got there, it just quickly got worse. What should have been a nice day out. I mean, Elliot loves, I've got crystals, I'm a hippy dippy, and he loves helping with my crystals, and he loves like hearing about the different properties, and you know, oh, why is this one this colour, where's this one come from, what's this one do. So I thought it'd be right up his street, but he was not interested. It was just, we stayed there, well, we probably stayed there about an hour, but in that time there was like toilet visits and having to do a lot of discipline. So yeah, not quite the day out we'd expected. They love playing Dino Hunters at the moment, so I thought it would be like, oh, we're at the museum and we're being Andy and there's the dinosaur. No, it wasn't that at all. So I felt a bit fragile when I got back yesterday. You know, and you've had to, I'm not great with discipline. When I was disciplined as a child, and this is nothing against my parents because I think this was the 80s way, the 80s way of discipline was generally fear. So being shouted at, you know, being all pointing up in your face, being smacked. It wasn't illegal back then. I don't get why you'd smack someone for being naughty, because one, you're just teaching people it's okay to hit, and it's not really related to what they've done, so it doesn't really make sense to me. But then I kind of like, I want to do gentle parenting, but then I find gentle parenting hard because of my background, and also sometimes it just doesn't seem to work. I'm sorry, gentle parenting experts, but it just doesn't seem to work sometimes. So then I was like, have I been too harsh? Because Elliot did something that was quite naughty. Have I been too harsh? Have I been not harsh enough? So I was just like having major parenting doubts last night. We ordered a curry in the end and watched the last episode of Ozark and had a gin, which was very much needed. And I woke up this morning feeling better, but then I've got a really upset stomach. And I'm like, I cut out gluten a while back because I thought that was giving me an upset stomach. And then I thought, oh, actually, I don't think it's gluten. I think it's because I was quite stressed and my stomach couldn't cope. Well, my bowels couldn't cope with it. But I've got nasty symptoms again. So I don't know whether to order one of those test kits to see if I've got gluten intolerance or whatever you call it. I don't know if they're any good or not. But trying to get into my doctor's, like I could be hanging on the phone for 3 hours trying to get an appointment, and then just to be told there are no appointments. And I've been to my doctor's with like bowel issues in the past, and they've just kind of gone, well, it just happens to some people. I don't know, maybe they'd be different, I think, like with Bowel Babe, and I think things like celiac disease are just a bit more known about now, as it was quite a while ago. I mean, doctors obviously should have always known about celiac disease, but I think, you know, they're more keen to do something about it now maybe than in the past. And I'm not saying that I have that, but I'm just saying I was not taken seriously whatsoever the last few times. I literally had my stomach prodded and was like, yeah, just it's just one of those things. It's just IBS and you just have to deal with it. And I was like, well, when I eat healthy, it gets worse. And they were like, well, you might find that. I was like, so you're telling me to just eat McDonald's? And they were like, well, that works. So yeah, so last week I wanted to talk about being organised. Didn't quite happen because of Queenie. This week I kind of want to focus on growth. I don't really know what that means at the moment, but it's only Sunday and I'm still in my pyjamas. So let's see how we grow through the week. Yeah. I stopped recording yesterday because I just felt like a pair of grotty pants. Today's Monday. Still feel like a pair of grotty pants. It's a nice analogy, isn't it? Yeah. So yesterday I had an upset stomach, and then I kind of thought, oh, okay, I've got rid of whatever it is, I'll start to feel better. So I went on a bit of a mad, I'll go and strip the beds, ready to go in the wash. And that was a mistake because, that was a mistake because then when I later wanted to crawl into bed, there was no blooming sheets on the bed. So I tried to carry on, and then I got downstairs and I was playing with Jake, and literally I could not keep my eyes open. They were going. Mr. H was out with Elliot at his swimming lesson, so I kind of struggled through until he got home. I think he took one look at me when he got home and thought, you don't look great. And I was like, I just need to have a rest. But I've stripped the bed. And he went, he went, go upstairs and have a rest. I was like, I've just stripped the bed, so I can't. And he was like, oh, I'll make the bed for you. So I could tell that I didn't look well. The fact that he was like, I'll make the bed for you, get to bed. So I went upstairs, had about 4 hours sleep, something like that.
Mama, you make my baby Tina.
I'll bet you baby Tina in a minute. Came back down, still didn't feel like my normal self. Had a McDonald's for tea because it was dry, and I find that's kind of a good go-to when my tummy's not great. It's something I know it could tolerate without rejecting in a nasty way. So I did that, and I went to bed last night hoping to feel better this morning, and I don't massively. I did a COVID test to make sure it wasn't COVID, and I don't think it is. I could kind of feel like a tickle on my chest, which is what made me think it might be COVID. And also just feeling really tired. So I'm really annoyed because like I feel like I've got all these plans I want to do and all these things I want to do and get organised, and I just can't because now I'm ill. And I feel like this always happens with me. And I half wonder, like, one, is this like a perimenopause thing? It's giving me an upset stomach and then just everything else that goes with it. Two, am I actually a celiac? Because the reason I gave up gluten originally was because I kept getting upset stomachs and they seemed to stop. But then I kind of cheated a few times and had some gluten and seemed to be okay. So I thought, oh no, maybe it was just because I was stressed, or maybe I was just imagining it. So I started to reintroduce it again, and now I'm wondering if I need to cut it out again. But I did read somewhere that you shouldn't really cut it out without being tested first, because if you cut it out then you kind of, the test won't be accurate. So I might order one of those online tests to do, see what the result comes. I'll be done in a minute, Jakey. And then, to be fair, even if that does come back, that I'm... You can't really help, sweetie, because it's hot, isn't it? I'll be there in a minute.
Okay.
Even if it doesn't come back as positive, I can't see. Even if it doesn't come back as positive, then I still might cut gluten out, because if it makes me feel better, then it doesn't really matter whether I'm a celiac or if it just makes me feel better. If it makes me feel better, it makes me feel better. It's just a pain in the arse though, because it's like, it so limits, like, you go to Costa, I know it's first world things, but you go to Costa and you can have a chocolate brownie. That's pretty much it. Just a bit. You want it cold?
Yeah.
Alright. There you go. And then, so yeah, so I'm a celiac. Is it perimenopause? Have I just picked up a bug? Or is it something like psychological? Because obviously I've learnt a lot about trauma and how it affects the body. Is it another like protect part of my body that I'm doing things that scare my brain, so my brain's making me ill to stop me? Could be. In which case I need to try and push through it, which is the last thing I want to do, but I do need to. But also be kind to myself at the same time. And the other thing I thought it might be, mess with the bin, please, Jakey, it's dirty.
Okay. Stop touching
I know, so I don't mess with it. And the other thing I thought it might be, trying to film with a cold and a toddler. I'm confused what's going to say. Oh, the other thing I thought it might be is I did like the full moon cleanse thing, and obviously I wrote a list of things I wanted to get rid of, things that no longer served me. Is this my body's very extreme way of getting rid of those things? I honestly don't know, but I want to feel better. Even though I feel less than perfect, we are going to go to forest school, because I figure, okay, I figure that it's just as much energy to look after Jakey at home and entertain as it is to go to a group and him be entertained. Also, we've paid for it and it's quite expensive. Plus I think I get a cup of tea or coffee there, which is quite nice. And cake, apparently. They did do pancakes on the bonfire last time, so maybe they might do that again this time. And I have done a test to make sure it's not COVID, and it's not, so I'm kind of okay to go out and about. Just feel a little bit naff.
Look, Mommy, look.
What is it?
School.
Elliot School. That's not Elliot School, sweetie. Just got into my car. There was some dodgy guy apparently on our estate the other day, and he got into some people's cars and like took random stuff. So I think he was looking to steal the cars. I think he was probably an addict, just looking for odds and sods that he could sell to feed his drug habit, which I always think is a bit of a shame, really. I know, like, people should never do naughty things, but a lot of people are results of their situation, aren't they? Was it byproducts of their situation? Although, to be fair, someone caught him on CCTV and he didn't look like your typical dodgy, druggy that tries to take things, so who knows? It is supposed to be a pat. But it doesn't match on TV. But I don't think he went in my car. I drive like quite an old car. I think my car's 10 years old now, maybe older than that, I'm not even sure. No, not quite 10 years, it's 9 years old. It's 10-year anniversary next year. I'll have a party for it. And I do sometimes think about getting like a nicer car, and then you hear of things like that happening, people getting their cars broken into, and you do think, are they just taking bits, or are they scoping out to steal the car in the future? And I kind of am quite pleased that I don't have a very posh car. I just got into mine. I mean, I store nothing in mine whatsoever, and that is a top tip. If you've got a car, don't use it as an extension to your house. Don't keep things in it. I've literally got a book that Jakey reads occasionally when he's in the car, in the back, some baby wipes, some hand sanitizer, an ice scraper, some like really old CDs that I really wouldn't be too upset if somebody stole, like in the Mix 96. I think that's about it. There's Elliot School. I think like there's a potty in the back. You know, really stuff that people would not want to steal. But as I went to drive then, I felt like my car was in gear, which I don't leave my car in gear. But then because I'm a bit poorly, I'm not sure if it was in gear, if I'd put it in gear when I got in and I hadn't realised. But that makes me slightly suspicious. But I don't think there have been, because nothing's been. You'd think like the glove box would be left open and various different things. And to be fair, even if they have been in here, they haven't taken anything and they're not going to want to steal it. So, you know, what of it? It's September the new April or something. Look at this rain. Luckily we made it out of Forest School before it started pelting down, because that would have made an interesting little circle time of singing and eating croissants if the weather had been like this. Yeah, we did Forest School. I'm glad we did. The fresh air cleared my head. I always liked Forest School because it's very sort of free play, not massively structured, and Jake's just kind of like an outdoorsy kind of kid, so it just works on all levels. So I will book us in for some more sessions of that, I think, while I still can, because I'm very conscious that we've only really got like a year of doing these things together before Mr. Jake starts school. But he'll have a blast at school, and they've just opened a Forest School at his school now, so that will be cool too. And plus he can still go when he's older. It was kind of like one of those outings, you know, when you're new mum and you have got a newborn and you feel really tired, and the last thing you want to do is leave the house, but you know you'll feel better for it. Today's kind of been like that. I've just been like dragging myself out but then feeling better for it. I still don't feel great. It's all, you can hear it, like everything in my throat's not raw, but my chest just feels really raw and really like hot. But like I say, I've done a COVID test. It's not that. I am feeling a little bit better, and I think we're going to go out and get some lunch from somewhere, because I figure that ordinarily if you were feeling naff, you would get someone to help you by making you chicken soup or a nice casserole. I don't have that kind of network. What do they call it? Like village of people to help me with stuff like that. So like I said previously, if you don't have access to that village, then you can instead decide that you're going to pay to get people to help you with that village, and that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to go for lunch somewhere, and then they can nourish me and my child and look after me. I need to check what's open actually. Hello on Wednesday. Yesterday was a bit of a weird day. I didn't pick up my phone very much. I was working, I was concentrating on quite a monotonous, repetitive task. I still didn't feel great either, so I just didn't pick up the camera. I kind of had a bit of a, not exactly a chill day because I was working, but a low-key day. I did reorganise some of the routine cards for the boys, so I will show you those at some point. I did order myself a gluten intolerance test as well. That should arrive today, so I'll give that a try. See how we get on with that. Yeah, it was just kind of a nothingy day. Today I'm feeling a lot better. So that's good. And I'm only working half day today. So hopefully we can get a bit more stuff done this afternoon around the house and get a bit more organised. I always feel that like when you're ill, just everything gets left and then you feel like you've got a load of things to catch up with afterwards, and that doesn't really help you to feel better because you're constantly playing catch up. But yeah, I've got a bit of time this afternoon to do those things. So I've just dropped Elliot off at Breakfast Club and now I'm heading home. It's really cold. Again on Wednesday, just finished work for the day. Just been chatting to one of my colleagues over Teams about some updates that I'll fill you in on soon, but they're all good and all exciting and groovy, so that's cool. I've actually just left a load of my work stuff out. I need to tidy it away. But while I've been working, I've also had my personal laptop whirring away in the background, uploading the vlog video that I edited last night. So that should be live. Well, that will be uploaded shortly. I'll probably put it live tomorrow, which is Thursday. So with this vlogging, obviously I did my first kind of intro of this is where I'm at. And then week one, I kind of watched it back. It's not that uplifting, I'll be honest, because I mean, Liz Truss becomes Prime Minister, the Queen dies, I've hurt my ankle, and I'm just in a bit of a grump for a lot of it. But that's life, and that's what I want to capture. And I'm hoping that come this time next year, I can look back on this year's vlogs and see kind of the foundations of where I'm at then, and I'm at a good place then. So that's my aim. That's why I'm kind of filming myself, even though it feels a bit strange sometimes talking to myself. So yeah, just finished, and now I am doing some more online surveys through Prolific. I'll leave the link below, although I'm not sure if they're taking on new participants at the minute. I'll have to have a look. But it's just a nice little way of boosting your income. There's quite a few different survey sites that you could use, but I like Prolific because they're more like psychological. And if you know me, I love psychology and anything to do with the mind. So they're more interesting, and they tend to pay quite well as well in comparison to some survey sites. And also they pay in cash through PayPal, whereas other ones pay via like a voucher, a gift voucher or something. So it's just quite good. I'm sending to average probably about £5 to £10 a week on it at the minute, which isn't loads, but the surveys tend to be like a maximum of 10 minutes. So, you know, it's not bad really, is it? Everything helps, doesn't it? Yes, woohoo! Just hit another £5. You have to get to a threshold. I don't know what's happening to my voice today. I am feeling a lot better though, so that's good. But I think my voice hasn't quite caught up with everything. You have to hit a minimum payment threshold of £5 to get a payout. And I've got £5.33, so I can request a cash out. Woohoo! Oh, I've had lunch. I've done some blog stuff, vlog stuff, Instagram stuff. I've cleaned the bedrooms, and is anybody else's time management just a little bit shoddy? I start off like, oh, I've got 2 hours to get all this stuff done. Let me do all this stuff. And then you can guarantee I just go, oh, I'll just do this. I'll just do this. I'll just do this. This will only take 5 minutes. I'll just make myself a hot drink. Oh, I'll just make this image on Canva. And then before I know it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm now in a rush. So yes, I'm now in, not a massive rush, but a little bit more of a rush than I would like to be. So yeah, my gluten intolerance test has arrived today. Oh, here it is. I was hoping to do it today. I actually paid for express delivery, so I could do it today, but I have to prick the end of my finger and get some blood. And one, I think I need to psych myself up for that. And two, it's not something I really want to be doing in a rush when I'm about to go out. So I might try and do that tomorrow morning instead. If it had arrived a little bit earlier, then I may have done it today. So yes, so I'm quickly going to run around the house and tidy up a bit. I think I'll put my contact lenses in because it's so sunny, which is nice. And then I need to go and do the school run and take Elliot to tennis. Hopefully the good weather stays, because yeah, last week he couldn't go, it was raining, so blinking much. Yeah, so gotta dash. Bye. It's school run time and we've got glorious sunshine this week. It's such a contrast to last week. It's so nice. My skin is looking horrible. I just watched back some footage and I just look like my cheeks going like that. I think I need to look at my diet and my water intake and my nutrients and my collagen and my protein and everything else, really. Get myself looking tip top and healthy again. Look a bit gaunt at the moment. I'm not sure if it's just an age thing or if I'm just not looking after myself. Obviously I've just been ill, so that would have a bit of an impact, wouldn't it, really? But I need to get back on top of it. Anyway, I'm a bit early for the school run. I have to be on a Wednesday because I take Elliot straight to his tennis club from school. So in order to get a parking space, I have to get here super early. So today, I've done enough work already today. I deserve a break. So I've got my magazine to read in the car while I wait until the school gates open. I kind of think I should go and sit over the park. I don't think I've got a picnic blanket to sit on though. I think I've only got some puppy pads. People might think I'm incontinent if I go sit on one of those. So I might not do that. I might just sit in my car and read a bit of the old psychologies. I told you I'm obsessed with psychology. Hello on Thursday. Just dropped Elliot off at school. Jake is at nursery, so I'm having a little walk along the canal. Need to get a few bits from town, and I thought this is a good bit of exercise. I can't really do much exercise at the minute because of my ankle, but walking is something I can do. Got my walking boots on to give my ankle a bit more support, and yeah, nice morning stroll. On my way back from town now. I was going to film some stuff while I was in town, but I'm not feeling very confident today. I don't know why. I think we all have these days. Whether it's my age, whether it's... obviously I've normally got kids with me, and I think kids kind of form a bit of a armour and give you a bit of confidence sometimes, which isn't really very healthy. Shouldn't be using my kids as armour. I'm sure we all do it a little bit. You know, we're confident for our kids and our kids give us confidence. And then when we're on our own, we feel a little bit vulnerable and a little bit like, oh God, it's just me. Who am I? What do I do? So yeah, I didn't, but that's fine. Got my free Costa, went for a cappuccino, and it is a beautiful day now. The sun is shining, birds are tweeting. You can barely hear the huge building site that's over there. It's a really nice day. So it's also a good way of getting my exercise in for the day. Town was a bit disappointing. Jake needs some new shoes. Top tip, if you're potty training a toddler, get shoes you can either wash or really cheap shoes, because when they tend to wheel on them at nursery when they have accidents, because it's inevitable they get too carried away with whatever game they're playing and just forget to go, then they end up coming home stinking of wee. And no matter what you do, you can't get rid of the smell. Really nice. So we're going to have to throw out, I think, 2 pairs of his shoes, which is fine. They're past the best anyway, and the one's a bit small for him. We just kept hold of them because of that fact, because we remember that with our eldest. But I went to Tesco just to get him a cheap pair of shoes to replace them, and they literally had 1 pair in his size, and they're okay, but they wouldn't be my first choice. I've got them just so he's got some shoes to wear tomorrow, but I think when I get back I might have to go online and try and order a pair to be delivered in somewhere. It's the annoying thing with going shopping to a shop, isn't it? You just can't guarantee you're going to get stuff. Got some bits for tea, got some healthy bits for lunch as well. And then had a quick look around the clothes for me, but there wasn't really anything that I liked. It's a bit of a jumble sale in Tesco at the minute. Everything, they've got a huge summer sale on, but everything's just a bit jumbled. There was some nice stuff, but I felt like it was stuff that I'd be repeating myself with. Like, oh look, a pink, like a fuchsia pink and light pink jumper, very similar to the cardigan that I owned from Primark. Oh, black and white stripy jumper. Yeah, had one of those a few years ago, and I don't really want to keep repeating myself, so I want to get something different. I think I will go into town again on a Thursday morning though when Jake's at nursery, because it is so quiet. It's a really good time to get around all the shops, so I might go and have a look around the charity shops. And we have got a few independent boutiques. I'm not sure if they were actually open this early though. I also went in Peacocks, which isn't a shop that I normally go in, but they had some nice stuff too, and I ummed and ahed about getting it, and I didn't in the end. But I might have a look online when I get home and see about ordering that. I've just come off the, come off the motorway, and that wasn't the motorway, was it? It was the canal. Just come off the canal and just walking through this little housing estate. I actually used to work here, not on the housing estate itself, but before it was built. There was offices here, and I used to work in the offices that were here. They actually got sold while I was working there, and these houses got built. And then before they were the offices that I worked in, someone's cat's going crazy. Before they were the offices that I worked in, my mum actually worked on this site as well. And I don't know why, there's lovely houses down here, they're Taylor Wimpey houses, and it's so quiet, and it's kind of like next to the river, and it's lovely. And we did look at moving down here when they first built them, but we couldn't really afford it. I was on maternity leave, and the lady in the sales office was really snooty. So yeah, that never happened. Taylor Wimpey are building a new estate in our town, so whether some people from this estate may move there, whether the price of these will drop a little bit because they're kind of maintaining their price, who knows. But I don't think I can be bothered to move again anyway. It was so stressful last time. But you know, you just find a place like really calming and just really nice. Like, I could carry on walking along the canal. I used to come this way with the buggy because the steps off the canal, but I haven't got the buggy with me today, so I could have gone that way. But I just like walking through here because it feels nice. And weirdly, before I started working at the place that I used to work at that was here, I used to go past it, and I used to really want to work there, and then that kind of happened. So I don't know, is there kind of like a thing where you get drawn to certain places for a reason? Is that a thing? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm gonna go now because my arm's starting to ache. But yeah, a nice little morning. I think I always feel like when I have time to myself without the kids, I need to be doing and getting the house clean, tidy, and getting organised, and doing things that try and help to make money. Actually, sometimes it's okay just to take some time for me. I say that, I still went and got groceries, so it wasn't exactly time for me, but I do need to remember that on future Thursdays. Whoa, I need to spill my coffee. Right, I'm going to go now. Oh, just back from a morning walk. Thought I'd show you what I got in town. Don't know if it's interesting. Hiding out in the lounge because as I walked up my cul-de-sac, there are quite a few people door knocking that look like they're people trying to sell Jesus to me. I don't have any issue with Jesus. I do have an issue with people coming door to door to sell anything, whether that be double glazing, loft installation, or Jesus. If I want something, I'll go out and find it. You don't need to come to my doorstep. So I'm just hiding out in the lounge for a minute until they go. So this is what I got. I've got it all in this Yale bag. Oh, if you can see that, which I got from Primark a while ago, and it is the most spacious bag for shopping. It's brilliant, and I really like it. These are the trainers I ended up getting for Jakey. They're all right, but they're just not my faves. I think, like, I know I've got years of Jake being in superhero stuff, so I quite like him in like cutesy Paw Patrol, Hey Dougie stuff while he's still quite little. I'll try and get him another pair online because I know we'll need another pair. But they'll do. At least he's got some shoes to wear. I got some of this to try from Holland and Barrett. I feel like my face is just caving in at the minute, which is probably an age thing and probably also just not looking after myself properly thing. This is collagen creamer and you put it into your coffee. It's supposed to give your hair and skin and nails a boost. It wasn't cheap, but I thought I'd give it a go. I'll let you know how I get on with that. Got some turkey. We're having sweet and sour tonight and I thought instead of having chicken, we'll have some turkey for a change. Got this for lunch. This is the ready to eat sweet chili hot smoked salmon fillets. I'm trying to up my protein. So apparently that's a good thing to do when you get to your 40s. And I got some couscous to go with it. And I hope I can have that for lunch tomorrow too. I got some of these. I haven't had these for ages. But I thought I could chop some up and put them on salad. I'm obsessed with like seafood and fish at the moment. So I thought that'd be a good way of having something a bit fishy with salad. Got some Parmesan cheese because we're having mac and cheese this weekend. Some macaroni. Oh, creme fraiche for the macaroni cheese as well. Some chewing gum. And some high strength chewable vitamin C to try and keep me healthy over the winter. Where is today going? It's nearly time to go and get Jake. And I keep wanting to kind of like organise an activity for when he gets back from nursery. So it's like, hi, you're back from nursery, let's do something fun. And I'm just not that organised. But in my defence, not as I need to defend myself, but I'm still playing catch up from being poorly at the start of the week. So maybe next week. But then I say that every week. So who knows? There's some washing. I've had a shower and washed my hair because I can take advantage of the boys not being here so I can actually blow dry it because it takes a long time now, it's so long. I've just made my couscous so I can have my lunch when I get back with Jake. I'm just waiting for that to heat through. I did some Gala Darling tapping and I'll link the one I did below because it was super powerful. Like normally when I do my EFT tapping, it's when you do this and you say like different almost mantras to yourself and it's to kind of reprogram your mind, which I need. And normally when I do it I'm like, yeah, this is good, but this was really powerful, so I'm going to do this one again. If you're like me and you have a bit of problems with self-belief, self-confidence, self-esteem, which I think is probably a lot of us in all fairness, then yeah, it really spoke to me. I'll link it in case it's helpful. I'm just trying to think if I can sneak a little task in. I've got like probably about 4 minutes. Probably not, can I really? I'm trying to do that thing again where I just go, I'll just do one more thing. I'll just do one more thing. And then I just make myself late. So no, really need to figure out what to do with my hair. I think I need to make a hairdresser's appointment. Might be a good start, isn't it? Just going to try out this collagen creamer that I bought earlier. Haven't had any yet. So it says to put 1 to 2 scoops into 236 millilitres of liquid, so coffee or tea. I don't think I can imagine using creamer in tea, it'd be a bit weird. I can't get in it at the moment. Oh my gosh, let's try a knife. So I've just measured roughly 236 ml in Barrett's jug and tipped it into my normal coffee cup. And it's pretty much the capacity of my normal coffee cup, so I'm going to put 2 scoops in. It's just sealed like that. They do not want you to get in. Oh, I thought it was blue then, but it's just because it's got a blue scoop. You can see, it's just a powder with a blue scoop. Just looks like Coffee Mate, really. Now I've heard to put it in as the coffee is pouring because it doesn't always dissolve all that well. So I'm going to do 2 scoops into my coffee. Where they put the scoop in is really annoying because in order to get that bit out there, you end up losing some on the counter or just drop loads. And this is expensive, so that's annoying. Let me get a spoon and get rid of that. I thought I was recording that, but I wasn't. So I've just popped the creamer in at the same time as the coffee was pouring out of an espresso machine. It's quite messy to do. I've got quite a lot of the powder all over the coffee machine. It doesn't dissolve as the coffee goes in whatsoever, so I'm just stirring it. But it does seem, it's a little bit lumpy. I think you always get that a little bit with coffee creamer. Like if you use coffee mate, that tends to be a little bit lumpy. It seems to make the coffee like a nice colour, which is good. That might be about as good as I'm going to get it. It smells quite sweet. The powder itself smells very vanilla-y, which is nice. It's going to be a bit too hot to drink at the minute, but I'll report back once I've tried it. Just taking my first sip. Pinky's up, I'm so posh. It's weird because it completely changes the texture of the coffee. But then I guess that's what a creamer does as well, because I'm used to having black coffee. So it makes it really thick. I wouldn't say it's lumpy, but it's a little bit powdery. It's not unpleasant though. I've taken some before pictures because I feel like can you see my cheeks? I feel like I'm going in. I feel like my face is like collapsing in on itself. And I don't think I have great collagen anyway, because I haven't got very good gums and I haven't got very good stuff that keeps the back of my eyes attached. Nice. So I think boosting my collagen might be good anyway, regardless of my age. So I'm going to stick with it, get to the end and see what I think. It's not like you'd be like, oh my gosh, I definitely need to have one of those. It's delicious. But, you know, if it's doing some good. Yeah, it's not unpleasant. It's just not amazing. But hopefully it will make me look amazing. Oh, I think I'm losing the plot. Oh, what a morning. I don't know what it is about Fridays. I think because everyone's tired. But Fridays are kind of stressful mornings. I ended up losing my mummy and getting quite shouty. And I don't like to shout, but you know, when you feel like you've just got nothing left in your arsenal, that's what I felt like. That's what happened. Oh, I've got some ideas of how to try and make it work a bit better that I want to start looking at over the weekend. So hopefully that works. At least we've got Monday off for a bit of rest. And it's not like we can do much on Monday. So hopefully that will help restore everyone's energy levels. We're off shopping today, aren't we, Jakey? Yeah. So I want to get some little bits for Jake. Need to get him a new winter coat. Well, not a winter coat, kind of like...
Mommy.
Need to get him kind of like a mid-season coat, like an autumny coat.
Red coat.
He wants a red one. Need to get him a pair of shoes, and our Play-Doh's all dried out, so I'm going to use some of his birthday money to get some Play-Doh. And I want some little weighing scales for his little kitchen he's got inside, so we can play around with those. And then there's some other stuff we need some more foundation and stuff. So we're going to pop to the shops, and it's really cold this morning. It's 11 degrees, but it feels much, much colder than that. So I'm going to crack-a-lack on after that stressful morning. Jakey wants Paw Patrol music on, don't you, dude? Better get it on then, the boss has spoken. Has anybody got a dark corner, maybe garage, somewhere I can go and lie down for half an hour, the rest of the day? Oh my God. I love my kids so much, but why do they feel the need to argue with me about every little thing? And why does it need to be like, do you need the potty? Yes, I need the potty. Okay, you're gonna go in the potty then. No, I don't need the potty. Well, you just told me you did. It's like, that is my dad. I know it's what 3-year-olds are like. I know they're just contradictory. But oh my God. Elliot didn't want to get ready this morning, and he was just being really cocky. And then Jake has just been in a contradictory mood where you say one thing and then does the other. He was mental at gymnastics, so I thought he needed a poo. So I was trying to get him to go on the potty, but he was refusing. So he didn't really do that much gymnastics because I just kept taking him off because I thought he needed a poo, and he was just mental and kept dive bombing on things. Which, you know, it's good for burning his energy off, but he also needs to make sure he's safe and that the other kids are safe as well. If he keeps being like that, he won't be able to go because that's dangerous. And it kind of annoys me a bit that the people there, I know they want him to enjoy it, so they don't want to tell him off. But I could do with their help to rein him in a little bit and then just go, just calm down a little bit. And then like towards the end, he'd had beans on toast for his lunch there. and his plate was really mucky. So I thought, well, that's not going to go in the recycling because it's really mucky. So I was trying to get him to put it in the bin. There's a recycling bin and a proper bin. And he just wasn't listening. And it got to a point where it was no longer about the plate. It was about, you need to start listening to mummy. And the one was just like, oh no, it's fine, put it in the recycling. And I'm like, that's not really the point though, is it? Like, if anything, I could have done with her backing me up and go, listen to mummy. Because the whole thing is not about the plate. It's about he doesn't effing listen to me. And one day it's going to be, he doesn't effing listen to me and there's a car coming. I think we're going to have a lot of, I've got a few ideas of things we could do the weekend to try and work on both boys' listening skills and both boys' concept of working as a team, rather than always arguing with their parents or arguing with each other, because at the minute it's a bit shit. I'm gonna trial something. I'll let you know if it works.